a fall still life. All right. Now, with these photos, if you lose it, I did put all the photos that I've printed on Google Classroom. So if you lose it and you need a new one, what can you do? You could go to the library, pull up your Google Classroom, and print it out. So what's the pencil we need to start with first? Your 4H. I'm going to draw a little darker so that way you guys can see it. Now, whenever we draw, let's go back to the cups. What's the first thing we did before we started shading? Okay, we did our contour lines. We did gesture drawings to get the whole composition out before we started shading. So that is the first thing we need to do. So I'm going to start with the objects in front of me, and I'm just going to do a quick drawing of all of my objects. And it's not going to be high detail because I just want to get the composition out. And why am I drawing everything in my composition right now? What do I need to make sure I do? Make sure you have everything sized out. Make sure you're taking up all the space on your paper. Because what happens if you draw too small? What will you need to do? Erase and redraw it. Right? You want to draw larger than the photo. Okay, because your photo is small. This paper is at least twice as big as the paper that you have with your composition on it. Right? So we want to make sure that we are drawing everything in it. And remember, what did I say about your objects running off the side of your paper? It should run off at least 3 sides. You want it to be a larger size. Okay, fill in that negative space. Now, do I want you to draw so large where you can only see one object? No. You want to fit most of your objects on your composition. So all you need to be doing right now is doing your gestures, which are quick little drawings, to get your spacing out. Now once you have everything spaced out and where you're wanting it, then go back and start defining your lines, erasing, and making some adjustments as needed. And I'm just working myself across the paper. Now, I don't expect for you guys to be really quick at gesture drawings. It's going to take you guys a little bit of time. I want you to take at least the class period to really get your gesture drawings down. Right. Some of the objects may be a little difficult for you to see because sometimes they print really dark. If this was a perfect world, we wouldn't have the barriers and objects would be sitting in front of you and you wouldn't have to worry about that. Like some of these objects on this composition are just really dark, so I'm just kind of playing around with it and guessing as I go. Another thing you can also do is go on Google Classroom and save the picture to like your Google, so that way you can pull it up at home and kind of look at it. Or you can get one of the Chromebooks and pull it up and look at it closely, so that way you can see your details. Then I'm just working on all these little candles right now. Looks like it's sitting on like a placemat with a table. And I've got like a backdrop. Everything is part of your composition. Okay, so if you look up at the screen, I've got a good bit of my gesture drawing down. All it is just very quick lines just to show my general shape. So what you guys are going to be doing this whole class period is just working on your shapes. One thing I want you guys to be cautious of, since you're using a large piece of paper, this is a 12 by 18, when you turn your papers, be careful about letting them hang off the table. Because what do you do with your arm if you have it running off the table? What are you going to end up doing? You're going to end up resting your arm on that paper. It's going to bend along with that table, and then it's going to put a crease in your paper. So be careful about letting your paper hang off. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? Alright, so we're going to work quietly and independently for the rest of the class period. You guys have about, say, 30 minutes. Maybe not even that.